My neighbor asked me to water her plants while she was on vacation. That's how I discovered her husband had a second family 2 streets away. I'd known Sarah and Mark for 3 years. They hosted our neighborhood Christmas parties, volunteered at food drives, and had the kind of picture-perfect marriage everyone envies. So when Sarah asked if I could water her orchids during their 2-week anniversary trip to Italy, I didn't hesitate. The code is 5214, she said, handing me a spare key. Feel free to help yourself to anything in the fridge. Mark always buys too much food anyway. On day 4, I accidentally knocked over a stack of mail while reaching for the watering can. As I gathered the scattered envelopes, I noticed something odd. A water bill addressed to Mark at an address 2 streets over. Must be a rental property, I thought, tucking it into my pocket to ask about later. Curiosity got the better of me that evening. I drove past the address par in a modest blue house with a basketball hoop and a minivan in the driveway. Nothing unusual until I saw Mark step outside, kiss a woman goodbye, and high-five a young boy before heading toward his car. My hands shook as I followed him at a distance. He drove straight to our local grocery store, filled a cart with food per too much food turn, and then returned to the blue house, using his key to enter. He didn't leave until morning. I watched this routine for 3 more days, sick to my stomach but unable to look away. Mark lived a double life with military precision. Weekdays at the blue house, weekends with Sarah, business trips that perfectly aligned with school holidays for the boy who I learned from neighborhood social media was named Tyler. When Sarah called to check on her orchids, I nearly blurted everything. Instead, I asked, "How long have you and Mark been together?" 7 years married, 9 total, she replied. Why? Just curious. Your anniversary trip made me wonder about your love story. Best decision I ever made, she laughed, though his travel schedule is brutal sometimes. The day before they returned, I placed a small envelope on their kitchen counter. Inside was the water bill and a USB drive containing videos I'd taken of Mark's comings and goings from the blue house. I included a note. "I am sorry to be the one to show you this, call me anytime." 3 days passed before Sarah appeared at my door, eyes swollen but posture straight. "Thank you," she said simply. "He's been living this double life for 6 years. Tyler isn't even his only child parent, he has a baby daughter too. I never suspected." "What will you do?" I asked, inviting her in. She smiled then. Parent actually smiled, parent before responding. "I've already done it. I emptied our joint accounts, called a lawyer, and sent copies of everything to his parents and boss. When he came home to explain, I had 4 of my brothers waiting in the living room." Today, Sarah closed on a new house in another neighborhood. I helped her pack alongside 5 other neighbors who've surrounded her since the truth emerged. Over wine in her empty kitchen, she said something I'll never forget. "Some people build their lives on lies because they're too weak to make honest choices. Others face devastation and still choose truth. I know which kind of person I am." When the moving truck arrived at her new place, 20 women from our neighborhood formed a line, passing boxes from hand to hand until her new home was filled, not just with furniture, but with the kind of community that rebuilds what betrayal destroys.